Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video review. I am the Tech Gooch, and I'm back with another case for my iPhone 7 Plus. In this case, this is a case that's also available for the other, actually a range of iPhones out there, from the 5 all the way through the 6s and all the way to the 7s. So this is a waterproof, shockproof, dustproof case from ZVE. Essentially, it's similar to a LifeProof case. So I've actually reviewed a LifeProof case before in the past. Audio quality, things like that are all very, very similar. Build quality, I would probably hand a slight benefit to the LifeProof case. However, I did notice actually better touch response versus the LifeProof versus this one on the plastic version, like the standard, like the Fray case. A case that I'm not that big of a fan of. I've always gotten bubbles between the plastic screen protector and the actual iPhone, the phone screen itself. I haven't actually noticed any bubbling or anything like that, so they actually put a decent piece of plastic on here to cover it up. Now, this case, you will not want to have a screen protector on your phone itself. You will want to put the raw phone in the case. This is also substantially less expensive than the LifeProof cases out there. Still waterproof. One of the things that I'm not the biggest fan of, but then again, if I'm buying a case like this, I'm probably not going to be taking it in as underwater photography. I'm putting it on there so in case my phone gets wet, I'm good to go. Now, of course, the 7s are water resistant, but I'm still not going to want to get it wet substantially. I drop it in the pool, things like that. I'm not going to worry about something like that in this. The bottom things were the lightning port and where if you have this a headphone jack. In this case, I have the 7 Plus head. There is no headphone jack, so this is one that's designed for the 7 Plus, probably also designed for the 6 Plus as well. The lightning port here is just literally a little piece of rubber that you pop into place. On other like the LifeProof cases, they have a hard piece of plastic that actually seals hardcore. This is a piece of rubber. It doesn't leak. I've actually water tested this. I haven't had any leaks at all. However, that's just, one of those things that you're not going to want to accidentally grab or something while you're underwater, right? So, and of course that's with anything, but that's just little things that I've noticed myself. The one detriment that I have to say to this case, in all reality, is that I did notice that my light meter for auto brightness does not work really. If I have it turned on, I have it on bright here, and I turn on the auto brightness setting, it'll automatically think that it is dark as sin because it must be covering up the light meter here. That's the one thing that I definitely have noticed, is the fact that the auto brightness does not work any longer with the actual case on. So that's one thing, not a big thing. Not everybody likes using the auto brightness anyway, but that's something that I typically do use. The buttons are decently usable. I mean I can power it on, power it off. They're a little bit harder to push, but of course it is a waterproof case. The volume rocker is a little like knob turner. Works very well. It's very responsive, I guess is maybe the best way to put it. So the ringer, you can mute and go along your business there. It is because it is a bulkier case. It's larger in the hands. It feels larger in the pocket. But what comes with it, instructions to tell you to actually test this guy before you actually put your phone in it, which is standard for any of those waterproof cases, 30-minute bath test basically with no phone in it. They do give you a microfiber cloth to clean up the phone because you're going to want to make sure the phone is very, very clean before you put it in the case. Otherwise, you can't clean your lens off or your screen off if you already have a piece of plastic over the top of it. They do give you a lanyard that you can attach to the bottom. So there's a little lanyard pocket. I'm not a huge lanyard person, so I didn't do that. And they do also give you a little tool to actually pop it open. I actually brought it out here just in case. You can also use a coin. In this case, I have a dime, but just as much you can use their little piece of plastic. It works just as good as a nickel. A nickel, just as good as a nickel. So but once you pop this corner open, you just basically slowly work your way around, and you can get your phone back out. Now, for the money, this case is pretty awesome because right now, I think for the 7 Plus at least, it's going for 10 bucks. For 10 bucks, I can't beat this. There is no way you could beat this for 10 bucks. It's an awesome case for 10 bucks. The retail price or whatever they say is 100 bucks. I'd probably go with the branded case myself. But for 10 bucks, you can't go wrong with it. It seals very, very well. It works very, very well. Even the volume actually works pretty good. So maybe I can show you that. So I'll put it back in the case like I had it. So kind of slip it into the side there with the volume rocker, and then all you got to do to put it back in is just start pinching around the edges. Now, of course, you're going to want to make sure you go around every single square inch of the case, because if I just pinch the corners, okay, oh no, that's good. Well, there's a little gap right here. I want to make sure that that is popped and good to go. So you can see that it's nice and tight all the way around the case. And that's what we're looking for, a nice tight fit along that seam. I'll play a little bit of a song here out of my music collection, I guess. Why not? You know, it's not as good sounding as it is out of the case, but I can't say bad things about it. It works. And there are ports on the back, you know, for the venting of all the audio and everything. But, you know, that was always the downside to any of the waterproof cases, is that you do lose sound quality by doing a waterproof case. And I'm going to show you this a little bit closer here. So when I come up here to do this, I can see where there's a little guy here. You just put the little guy in, then you turn, like you're turning a key. And you could actually use this, probably go around the edges. I never tried it, actually. I just used my fingers. Probably better just use the fingers. But just pry it apart and just kind of work your thumb in all the way around, and she comes apart. And that is that. And then every time you want to put, anyway, anytime you put the case back on the phone, you want to make sure that you clean it up real good, right? And that's why they give you the microfiber cloth. Make sure you hit the camera, make sure there's no fingerprints on the camera or any dust on the camera. You clean that up. I would also clean the inside of this good. For me, I don't like using waterproof cases on a constant basis. I prefer using waterproof cases on a term based, meaning I like waterproof cases that are fairly easy to remove and put back together, and use them only when I need to use them. They're a great handy little thing, and for the money, I can't tell you to go out and buy a LifeProof. I would actually tell you to go out and buy one of these, because you're gonna have it's gonna be hard pressed to beat this for 10 bucks, especially if you're gonna use it sporadically and from time to time. So I'm going to post a link directly to the case in the description. If you do purchase through that link, you are actually supporting my show here, and I appreciate it. That said, check them out, because they will have various versions for the other iPhones as well. But this is the second case I think I've gotten from ZVE, and each one, I'm, you know, for the money, I'm very impressed for their performance and capabilities. So I highly recommend checking them out at least. And if you have any questions or comments, post those below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Of course, we like it. It gets pushed out forward and more people see it. And let us know what you think. Social media at techgooch and the techgooch.com. Aside from that, we will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.